We begin with the cracking of ice. You can see the ice sort of starting to crack as time passes, and Capre indicating to you, we need to go, they're here. I think I see the herd. Parting the trees from the top, bending them, a beautiful giantess, an ice giantess. She lifts up her staff high in the air and she slams it down on the lake. Emanating from where her staff hits the ice, cracks begin to stream forward against all of you. And from here, you can see black crude oil begin to bubble up from these cracks. KoKo, you stop just in time as a crack separates you and Capre. And the river begins to flow, and all of the ice begins to move towards the mouth of this river. You can see Ursoon stop and see you and wave at you and beckon quickly.
We must follow the river to the forest, to the deep heart. We will use the flows of ice on the river. We can move faster. I do not believe the warband can move as quickly, and the ice flows are large enough for all of us.
And KoKo looks back and she's looking for the frost giantess.
Who kind of, again, as the flow begins to pick up speed as it's going down the river, you don't see any evidence of, parting trees on one side, and there's no yipping or any of the screaming that you heard from before. Doesn't seem that they are nearby.
All of the Ramhedë circle up in the very middle of the ice flow, and they get very tight and very still, almost as if they were on top of a mountain.
It is a good fortune that this ice was here. We will flow down the river like a leaf on the wind.
All of this lost camelin, this place where we're going, this dark wood, what is it?
Well, he looks over at Ursoon.
It is the home of the Osaka.
The woods are sick.
Yes, that is why the Osaka came to us.
It is why we protect Olivar at all costs.
As you continue to travel down the Ramhedë River, the sun begins to set.
Yeah, the night sky is completely clear, especially now that the clouds
Now
are
that the clouds are gone, it is awe-inspiring.
You wanted to speak with me before, didn't you?
Capre said they do something about my burn.
You and Capre have more alike than you know. The wound on her face refuses to heal.
Really?
Yes. That is how I know that she was going to choose violence, no matter what I said.
Does this mean I'm gonna choose violence too?
No, child, no. Those that come across you in your travels will see what haunts you no matter how hard you try to hide it.
So Saint believes in gods, right? And in big magical gods that protect us. But what if there's something else?
There are.
And what if I'm attracting that?
You mustn't be so hard on yourself.
I just met them. And they're very nice. And I would like very much to protect them. And so, if you could help me do that, or tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, because you know so much about us.
I would like more to help you than to do anything. But the truth is, you all are here to help us. And so I need to thank you for what you have brought me. If there is one piece of advice that I would give you, it's that we all need to protect one another. They may think that I am the most important thing here. But when I am gone, who will take my place?
Otto thinks about their home and thinks about their uncle, and how their uncle is essentially Oliver, and about how like just Otto's responsibility to their community and understanding the weight of what Oliver is saying and our responsibility to each other.
When you have time, I'd really like for you to take a look at the skull thing. We grabbed the skull and the storm just went poof like away. I don't know if you noticed that.
I noticed.
I know. I'm getting a sense that it's probably pretty big.
Whose skull is this?
Fire burns through your eyes into your skull. Your internal organs begin to twist and churn, and almost as if they're moving about inside of you, and your legs turn to liquid, and you pass out.
I'll catch him and try to catch the skull.
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
gonna try to catch him.
Saint will cast healing spells on him to try to revive him.
He does not come back.
Oh.
He is quite unconscious.
Oh no.
You look into his eyes, and you can see stars swirling. Almost as if you could see the galaxy in his eyes. He is almost petrified, like his body is rigid.
So I'm gonna use light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Okay.
Physics, I guess.
Sure.
And
What?
say, yeah,
It's physics.
it's physics. It's fantasy physics, you guys.
Fantasy physics.
Because he's so stiff.
As a board.
He's also light as a feather. I'm just gonna prop him up. So again, he's like this, but like outwards, I guess. So you're not in the snow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was worried you guys were going to use me as either a rudder or.
I did think about that in my plans.
Yeah.
Ready for my hour
Yes.
watch.
Okay. Hey, while we're out here at watch, do you want to maybe try to fashion a sail while we hang out?
May I have your stick?
You may have my stick.
And he grabs the stick, and his hand, his big bare paw, sort of rubs against your own as he picks up the stick, and he, I'm sorry.
Oh no! Why are you sorry?
Well, the noises that come from
Oh.
your mouth confuse Kjack. You are nice to
good.
look at.
Oh.
and he catches himself and
Oh, I'm invested now.
Took you this long?
I like that.
I like that too.
I like you.
Now Keith.
Did I make you uncomfortable? I meant that I like how handy you are.
Oh.
I like how you bend nails. I like how you carved that whole pole up and just made us a sail. This is so amazing. I think I like your brain.
This is so many new feelings for Kjack.
Well, what do you like? It can
I
be
like
anything.
the
It doesn't
color
have
of
to
your
be
hair.
Burrow.
Kjack's life is filled with sadness,
Oh, Drag.
but when I look at you, the sadness is not gone, but yells less.
When you wake up in the morning, it's rough. When the rest of you look at Cristobal, one of his eyes is completely white,
Whoa!
and the other eye is black.
Whoa!
Wait, why can't I see?
Okay, all right.
Why can't I see?
I need you to stay
Why-
calm.
why
You're
can't I
still
th-
on an iceberg in the middle of a river.
Why can't I see?
I pull out the mirror and look at my eyes.
Sure. And when you look in the mirror, funny enough, you can see the reflection of yourself with the white eye,
Right.
but with the black eye, you look into the mirror and you see the reflection of a figure that you've never seen before. Right. And when you put the mirror back, again, you can only see out of the one eye.
run, the Lakota here! From the tree line on the south shore, you see two very large Lakota, which would by itself be a scary sight. But on their backs, you can see two very large gnolls.
They're almost twice the size of a regular gnoll. And then there's 5 regular gnolls chasing behind them.
And you hear the large one say, "Give us the herd! Herd! We want the herd! Herd or die! Kill them all!"
the actual ice chunk that you're on starts to crack and break apart.
But Val steps up next to Cristobal and Otto and says, "Stand back. I really hate having to do this."
Oh.
And you see Val take in a giant breath and dragon breath of ice to hold the bergs together in a 15-foot cone breath.
How long have you had this?
His whole life, he hates doing it.
Saint will cast Shatter. Saint channels her dog whistle Mariah Carey note that she can do. Like,
And he drops his axe and drops down to his knees. And when he drops his obsidian axe to the ground, it shatters. And you see obsidian explode out in all directions. There's literal bits of shrapnel, and most of it embeds into him.
Ouch!
This Lucrota runs and leaps 30 feet in the air and lands right there. So Drek runs up, grabs the front two legs of this Lucrota and wraps the Lucrota up so it can't move. Grenlek grabs it by the head and pulls its head forward.
Oh, no.
And then Ursoon comes up with this huge axe and lops its head off in one swipe.
I am living for
And you see the Lucrota's body go limp, and then they kick it and it drops into the water with a sploosh.
As the gnolls jump onto the iceberg tilts, as it would, right? Using that tilt, I'm going to lunge at the spear and untie it.
But you rush forward and you start to untie it, and she starts to yank her spear back, and you grab onto the spear so that she doesn't just lift it up and skewer you with it. So, much to Grenlek Mighty Claw's name, he takes both of his claws and buries it into her belly,
Wolverine style.
and grabs onto the flesh there and pulls it out. And you can just see intestines start to ripple out of her side. She is on the verge of death. And that's where we're going to end our show for tonight. Sorry.